Off to find out more about a community telecoms operator called Zenzaleni.net, a project kicked off by the University of Western Cape Department of Computer Science. In Mankosi in the Eastern Cape, a community there owns and operates their very own telephone and internet company. Well, there's a few parties involved, and we've stopped off at Right to Know today to find out more. The Edge Crew are catching up with Micah Reddy, who's going to be chatting to us about the Zenzaleni Networks Mankosi. It's groundbreaking, and what is Right to Know's role in this all, for starters?
Well, this was an initiative started by the University of the Western Cape in around 2012. And Right to Know has subsequently come on and gotten involved in this and been very active in promoting this as an alternative way of communicating, as an alternative network infrastructure. And this ties in very, very nicely with our media freedom and diversity campaign. This is all about creating a more diverse media landscape and breaking free from dependence on the telecoms monopolies.
Right, so let's get into it. Why was it so important for the community to have their own telecoms system?
Well, this is about realizing fundamental constitutionally enshrined rights. We're talking about freedom of expression and the right to receive and impart information. And because of our particular socio-economic situation, and because prices in this country are exorbitantly high, prices of data and airtime, that is. So it's very hard for ordinary people, for particularly poor rural people, to exercise their right to communicate. Zenzaleni means do it for yourselves, and it's about a way of creating alternatives to privatized telecommunications, creating a way where people can be self-sufficient.
I want to know who exactly is involved aside from Right to Know, because there's quite an army.
Yeah, well, this was something that was pioneered by University of Western Cape researchers and the community themselves, of course. Michael Graaf from the Right to Know campaign has been very heavily involved in publicizing this. But really, it's a community initiative. Of course, when the thing was started up, because this is in a tribal authority, the tribal authority was very involved. They called a meeting, the chief called a meeting. At the meeting, a decision was taken to form a committee, basically, to run the show. A whole lot of households were selected to form the sort of nodal points of this network, and people received training and the relevant know-how. And it's all very promising so far. It's gone from Zenzaleni to Zenzaleni Networks Mankosi, because this is supposed to be a sort of umbrella organization. And we're hoping to connect networks, cooperatives from around the country.
Do you feel like people will be encouraged to incorporate a telecom system like this elsewhere in South Africa, Africa, the world?
So there's a real need for this sort of thing. I think there's a real demand. It's taken off in Mankosi, and we're hoping that this will provide a model that can be replicated around the country. And there are lots of alternatives out there. There are alternatives being practiced, cooperative forms of ownership and that sort of thing, community ownership, outside of South Africa, across the world.
Micah, how has the community received this, and how do they actually utilize it day to day?
Well, it's had a very immediate impact on their daily lives and certainly on their pockets. As I said, in relative terms, relative to what ordinary South Africans earn, we have extremely high rates for cellular communication, for airtime and data. And the co-op has allowed people to communicate within the network for free, so they can talk to each other for free, and it's reduced rates outside the network to 50% of what they otherwise would be, of the normal rate. So yes, I think if you would ask people in Mankosi, they would have a very positive assessment.
Is it quite easy to install and user-friendly for the community?
It is relatively user-friendly and very cost-effective. Basically, this is a mesh network, so it doesn't rely on the very costly infrastructure of traditional networks where you have a centralized mast or beacon, which is very expensive. Rather, it's very decentralized. It's in this case a bunch of households that each have transmitters, or the so-called mesh potatoes, that are quite cost-effective. Keep in mind as well that this is a very rural area. It's not connected to the grid, so these devices use solar power. And yeah, I mean, UWC has been able to get together enough money for this. So it's not a massive infrastructure rollout we're talking about. It's quite low cost and can be installed in a rural community with relative ease.
Well, Michael, we salute you and your innovation, and this just proves that every community has the right to some pretty awesome technology.
Communities doing it for themselves. Now that's what we're talking about.